Hi, I'm Callie.
And this is my audience.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a culture other than your own? Africa has been a place that many people are intrigued by, but not many people visit. I have always found the African culture intriguing, which is the reason I chose to do my speech over it. The culture of Africa is varied and manifold, consisting of a mixture of tribes that each have their own unique characteristics. It is a product of the diverse populations that today inhabit the continent of Africa and the African diaspora. African culture is expressed in arts and crafts, folklore and religion, clothing, cuisine, music, and languages. Africa has a rich tradition of arts and crafts. African arts and crafts find expression in a variety of wood carvings, brass, and leather artwork. African arts and crafts also include sculpture, paintings, potteries, ceremonial and religious headgear, and a dress. Maulana Karenga states that in African art, the object was not as important as the sole force behind the creation of the object. He also states that all art must be revolutionary, and in being revolutionary, it must be collective, committing, and functional. Certain African cultures have always placed emphasis on personal appearance, and jewelry has remained an important personal accessory. Many pieces of such jewelry are made of cowrie shells and similar materials. Similarly, masks are made with elaborate designs and are an important part of some cultures in Africa. Masks are used in various ceremonies depicting ancestors and spirits, mythological creatures and beliefs, and in many traditional arts and crafts traditions in Africa, certain themes significant to their particular cultures recur, including a couple, a woman with a child, male with a weapon or animal, and an outsider or a stranger. Couples may represent ancestors, community founder, married couple, or twins. The couple theme rarely exhibits intimacy of men and women. The mother with a child or children reveals intense desire of the woman to have children. The theme is also representative of Mother Mass and the people as her children. The man with the weapon or animal theme represents horror and power. A stranger may be from some other tribe or someone from a different country, and more distorted portrayal of the stranger indicates proportionally greater gap from the stranger. Like all human cultures, African folklore and religion represents a variety of social facets of the various cultures in Africa. Flood myths have been circulating in different parts of Africa for many years. Culture and religion share space and are deeply intertwined in African cultures. In Ethiopia, Christianity and Islam form the core aspects of Ethiopian culture and inform dietary customs as well as rituals and rites. According to a pygmy myth, Chameleon, hearing a strange noise in a tree, cut open its trunk and water came out in a great flood that spread all over the land. Folktales also play an important role in African culture. Stones reflect a group cultural identity, and preserving the stones of Africa will help preserve an entire culture. Storytelling affirms pride and identity in a culture. In Africa, stories are created by and for the ethnic group telling them. Different ethnic groups have different rituals of ceremonies for storytelling, which creates a sphere of belonging to a cultural group. Folktales are used to give outsiders an insight of the community, encompass the group's uniqueness, and for education and entertainment for others. They also provide children to understand the material and social environment. Every story has a moral to teach people. Even though folktales are for entertainment, they bring a sense of belonging and pride to communities in Africa. Women's traditional clothes in Ethiopia are made from cloth called shima and are used to make habesha kemis. The latter garment is basically cotton cloth about 90 centimeters, woven in long strips which are then sewn together. Sometimes shiny threads are woven into the fabric for an elegant effect. Men often wear knee-high socks, while women might not even wear socks. Men as well as women wear shawls, which is called the Nutella. Traditional male clothing is usually light, consisting of a two-part apron. The front piece is called the umatosh, and the rear piece is called the iberna. Married men will usually wear a headband, which is called an umkel. The various cuisines of Africa use a combination of locally available fruits, cereal grains, and vegetables along with milk products. The continent's diverse demographic makeup is reflected in the many different eating and drinking habits, dishes, and preparation techniques of its manifold population. Starchy foods are served with grilled meat and values. A variety of local ingredients are used to make spinach stew, ground stew, and bambura, which are some of the main dishes. Beef and chicken are favorite meat dishes in Africa. Rainbow cuisine is also a big deal. It is popular in South Africa, meaning it is a blend of many culinary traditions. Traditional sub-Saharan African music is as diverse as the region's various populations. The common perception of the music is that it is rhythmic music centered on the drums. Saharan Africans can be seen in its influence on music forms like samba, jazz, rhythm and blues, rock and roll, salsa, and rap. Other African musical traditions also involve strings, horns, and very little polyrhythms. The continent of Africa speaks many languages. Amongst the most prominent languages spoken are Arabic, Swahili, and Hausa. Very few countries of Africa use any single language, and some Africans speak various European languages such as English, Spanish, French, and Dutch. Africa may be the poorest, least developed, most exploited, worst suffering area on earth, but it is a barometer of world economic justice. Even though the African culture may change a little more each decade, many traditions are passed down and influence cultures all over the world. The cuisine, folktales, clothing, music, and language are a huge part of the African culture and have been for many decades. I am glad I chose to do my speech over such a unique culture and further my knowledge of the African culture and tradition.